So I just wanted to shoot a quick little scene here about changing the valve springs on my 6-liter 317 heads. It had the factory valve springs on there, I'm assuming, but I went ahead and purchased some trick flow valve springs. They're equivalent to the Pac 1218s, but they're a little bit cheaper. Exact same specs on these trick flow springs. So basically, as you guys can see here, there's the part number. It's a TFS 16918-16. Installed pressure or seat pressure is 130 at 1.8, and then open pressure is 318 pounds at 1.2. Spring height rate of 313.3. Coil bind is at 1.140. So again, those are the exact same specs as the Pac 1218s, but I believe they're about $20 cheaper, and I'll verify that when I edit this video. So also, I made this tool here. You guys can see that. So I basically just took a angle grinder wrench, welded a little bit of reinforcement on the back of it, and I'm just basically using it like this. Hopefully you guys can see that. So you got a nut here, basically that goes down like that, and then of course it depresses on the spring, and you take the keeper out with this, or take the keeper out, pushes down the retainer, and then you just go ahead, take the old spring off, put the new one back on again. It has you can buy a tool from Amazon that basically has the same configuration, but it's like $18 US. So I didn't want to wait till the 30th of August, so I just made my own. Actually works pretty good because I changed these 4 out already. And yeah, and I'll show you how this thing works. I'll remount this camera and give you a demonstration how the tool works. So I also wanted to show you guys changing out the valve springs on these heads. What you want to do is you want to mount your cylinder head on like a wooden surface and clamp it down like I have here. So what this does is it just stops the valves from pushing out as the tool here pushes down the spring. Because if you didn't have it mounted like this, the valves would basically push out of your chambers, and you wouldn't be able to take the retainers and keepers off. So what happens now is the table is basically acting as a stop on the valves when you're depressing the springs, and soft enough that it won't damage your valves. So yeah, so if you want to do this, I recommend mounting it, on a wooden table like this. A couple of C-clamps, as you guys can see, and of course the tool I just made. So I'll just give you a quick demonstration when I mount the camera on the tripod there. So again, just showing you how the tool works. So again, these are the 2 bolts welded head back to back, basically 5/8 or 3/4 of an inch sticking out that goes into the head. So again, we'll just show you how to do this here. So we're removing the stock spring now, the one that's on there, and replacing it with the Pac 1218 equivalent. So here's our tool again. As you can see, it's just a wrench for changing angle grinder wheels. Goes on like that. You get your nut, 8 mil, 1.25 mil pitch. Screw that on like that. And again, you can buy this tool at Amazon, but I couldn't wait till the 30th, so this is just better. See how this works? Hopefully you guys can see this. So you basically just screw her down like this. It depresses the spring. The valve is held in place by the table. That's why I have it clamped down like this. There we go. Take the keeper off. Take the keepers off. Reverse the wrench. Comes off. The factory spring. Check out the retainer, looks good, no problem. I do like to probably use aftermarket springs because these guys, I mean aftermarket valves, because these guys only have one groove and you can get the aftermarket ones with two, so it's just, it reduces the probability of dropping a valve. So, but we'll go with these for now and we'll decide later if we're gonna upgrade. Just gotta get this thing running. So again, put the retainer on, kind of center it, tool goes back on, so, nut. And these aren't hardened, so I recommend getting a few of them because just in case you wreck the threads or stuff like that, they're cheap enough that you can do that. A little bit of oil again. There. You want to make sure the stem is centered in the retainer, just so you don't push down on it. Let's go. Yeah, it's good. So a little bit of grease. Just to keep the keepers there. One half. Make sure you put these in the right way. 2.5. I always like to clock these things so the split is basically at 12 and 6. See what happened here? There we go. Sure that's on. That's good. So now we just loosen this guy off again. And there you have it. Aftermarket spring on, factory spring off. Make sure you hit it a couple times just to seat the keeper and retainer in there. So there we go. Looks like it worked. So we finished installing all the springs on the 317 head. Give you guys a quick look here. There they are. Retainers are in, keepers are in. Everything looks pretty good. So again, that was just using this homemade tool here. Basically it's an angle grinder wrench. Reinforced with a piece of 1/8" steel. And also, I think I used a 5/16 hole right in the middle. And I did elongate or grind these, put a chamfer on this hole just so it has a little bit of movement, as you guys can see. And this again is two 8mm bolts, just basically welded together in a flat ground so I can have somewhere to wrench on as I turn it into the head. And again, an 8mm nut. I bought about 4 of these, 5 of these, because this isn't hardened material, so you might go through a few of them depending on your seat pressure or your spring pressure, but I recommend getting a few of them. So yeah, I got about 6 of them. And again, the 8mm 1.25mm pitch bolts welded back to back, and then about see, about 5/8 or 3/4 of an inch sticking out. That goes into the head. So there we go, guys. Thanks for watching, and now I'm going to do the other head and continue on in the process of building Turbo LS. It's up here on the lift. So yeah, so basically it's up there, so I got to check out the bottom end, so I'm going to do a bunch of reinforcement, basically frame connectors welded in, and a whole bunch of fancy stuff to make it super rigid. So all that energy is used to go forward instead of twisting and flexing the frame and body. So again guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for a new video coming up. I guess the next one will be putting the heads on the engine. That's sitting over there. Thanks for watching guys. So just an additional scene here. Just wanted to show everybody, these are the Trick Flow by Pack Racing Beehive valve springs. TFS again, 16918-16. So exact same specs as the Pack 1218s, and they're $161.99. And if we go over here, here's the Pack 1200 1218s, $184.95. So exact same spring, 313 pounds. And again, this guy here, 313 pound spring rate, same exact coil bind height. So you might as well get these guys, $161.99 versus the Pack 1218s, because they're made by Pack too, the TFS. So it's kind of strange how that how they're selling them the same spring at different prices. And also here is the Lyle 16560 valve spring compressor for GMLS. So this is basically what I recreated using the spanner wrench and 2 bolts welded back to back. So you can buy this, and I would recommend it instead of, if you don't have a welder or you don't feel like building anything. So it's probably cheaper to go this route if you take into consideration my time and effort in putting that tool together. But it makes for an interesting video, and if you can't get one of these, you can always rig something up with whatever you have on hand, a piece of scrap metal. This of course is hardened, so you don't have to reinforce it. So yeah, you can buy this and change the springs on your LS heads and go from there. So again guys, thanks for watching, appreciate it, and we'll be moving on to the next video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and learned something, and again, thanks for watching.